What's up, guys? I'm Caleb, and today I am going to be counting all 15 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I'm going to be ranking them. Number 1 will definitely surprise you, and I got a lot of different opinions, so you never know what to happen. But yeah, before we get in this, make sure to subscribe and like that button because almost 80% of my viewers are not subscribed, and that just cry. You guys can fix that. Please do it. And I'm trying to make the world a better place by good content. But yeah, let's get in. Okay, so how I usually like to separate the two things are the old Greg and the new Greg. The old Greg is he's more of a good guy, and he doesn't really care around the world around him. And the new one, you can tell, like, some stuff has evolved, like technology, and that's how it affects Greg, and it affects him a lot. So, the new Greg, not a lot of things are going to be high. There is one book that is very high, and you're going to know. And now it's time for number 15. Number 15 is Wrecking Ball. I honestly, I got this at Costco. It was actually a half-off deal. I was very disappointed with it. It's just that working with the household, like, who is going to want to sit down, and no disrespect to Jeff Kinney, I love these kind of books, but who is going to want to sit around and just watch this middle school kid renovating his house and trying to sell it? Like, that's something you would see on Fixer Upper, not a children's book. So, that's why I put it on 15. It's just not the kind of book for kids my age. I think that it could do better. Number 14 is Double Down. Yes, I personally, when I first read this when I was little, maybe 7 years old, I loved it. I thought it was really good. It may have been one of my favorites. Then I looked back on it, and then I just realized it wasn't that good. I mean, all of these different subjects would change, zip zap. But the thing about Wrecking Ball is it had one subject and it stayed with it. But that's not the thing with Double Down. Like, when they made the Nightcrawlers movie, I thought that was pretty good. But besides that, it just didn't connect to make a good book, so that's why I got number 14. It's head to 13. I recently read this book, actually today, when I woke up. Number 13 is Third Wheel. Third Wheel, it's not a terrible book. It's just that, it's that kind of book where, Greg's trying to get a crush. It's basically kind of what it's been, and just doesn't really connect because I just didn't like the process, because besides the crush thing, there was not a lot. It just stayed with one subject, and the subject kind of bored me, so that's why I thought 13. Maybe if it had a little more subjects, like something a little more interesting, then it probably would have been good. Let's go to 12. Number 12 is Jeff Kinney's the latest book, The Deep End. I had a lot of thoughts about this book. I got it for my birthday, from my sister. Thank you. But, I really like the RV thing. It's just that all these new characters, kind of like one of my favorite YouTubers, Top Rank, he said, all of these new characters just zapped in, and I didn't really like the new ones, like the new characters. Greg meets his friends, and they, like, go against the teens. You get the watermelons. I like that part, but I just didn't like the characters. I didn't like the new characters. And let's move on. The next books are the ones that are kind of okay. They're a little okay. They're the kind of book you would pick if you wanted to go. Let's go. Number 11 is, in fact, Meltdown. And the Meltdown, I actually have it right here. This book, I will say this, if it didn't have the new Greg and his personality, it actually might have been one of my favorite books. Because I love the war that they have between the lower Surrey Street kids. It was really cool, but it's still just Greg's personality, and if they added more flair to it. And another thing about this is the subject didn't last very long, and it just stayed there, but at the end, then the Mingo kids just came and they had this thing, and then it ended after the snowplow. Like, that was not a way to end the war, so that's another reason. Let's go to number 10. Number 10, my friends, is Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Hard Luck. This book was. This is where it gets pretty good. So, Hard Luck, I didn't hate the book. It's just the ones that are ahead of it I liked better. So, I didn't really have anything wrong about it. Just kind of like, I didn't like it as a kid, and then I realized, I still am a kid, but back in 3rd or 4th grade, I'm in the 6th grade now, if you're wondering, I just didn't like it, but I realized, the Easter egg hunt when they're trying to find Meemaw's ring, I like that, and, their giant reunion was really cool. Actually, the reunion's kind of what slowed it down when I was little, but right now it's okay. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 is Cabin Fever. I think this is... Yeah, it's number 6. Sorry, I just looked on the meltdown. Yeah, number 6. This was a good book. This was a very good book. And I honestly should have placed it higher, and I might go in the description and redo it. But I like this book. When they go to, and try to get their own plaza thing, and, the Greg and Raleigh are, accused of graffiti. That was really cool, but, something about it that just slowed the plot down. Maybe the winter storm. It's kind of like quarantine, kind of like someone doing a diary during quarantine. Besides that, I liked it. Now it's time for number 8. Okay, number 8, the reason I only put this there, I have not read this book in such a long time. I don't think I've read it since 3rd grade, and I would honestly replace Cabin Fever. I'd make this 9 and Cabin Fever 8, but The Long Haul, and as you know, the movie was not good. Yeah, the movie was pretty terrible. It was bad. Roderick looked like something different. And, I haven't read the book in such a long time, so I can't really remember. I know they go on a road trip. Pelicans, that's all I remember. So, let's move on. Number 7. Okay. This will shock you, and I might get some controversy. This is in the 3 OG books, and it is The Last Straw. There's something about it. The plot was good, but there's something that Kenny messed up on just that one book. Maybe, it might have just been the movie was so much different from the book, but I don't have the book with me, so I can't really remember, but I know Greg goes, he goes with Raleigh on that place, but, besides that, it's just not very good. Like I said, with the Cabin Fever, there's just a lot of others better than it that I think. So let's go on to the next one. Alright, number 6. This will shock you, and this will be probably the most controversial. Yes, The Getaway. I thought it was good. They're going on the trip. I thought it was great, because, it was nice kind of getting used to a new place. And that was cool, the vacation. It was different from, the road trip. They're just trapped in a car. Or the deep end where they went in an RV park. It was, an actual legit island vacation. The plane scene was pretty cool. And, yeah, let's go to the top 5. Alright, number 5 is a movie, also a book. It is Dog Days. Dog Days, like the others, it's just not as good as the other ones in front of it, but I love when they go to the country club, then they go with Raleigh, and he's like, there's a chicken under my bed, and he's like, there's no chicken, Raleigh. Really? Yeah. I just really, and then they went to that carnival and the cranium shaker, cranium shaker, my bad. But, it was good. I actually recently read it, so now it's time, number 4. Number 4 is, one of the OGs. It is Roderick Rules. Roderick Rules was very well done. It was one of the best old Gregs. I was actually very surprised on how good it would be, because Greg going through reading his toilet paper and that was classic, and I just really liked how Greg and Roderick bond. That was kind of Tom and Jerry bonding. Like, that's not something you would see every day. That's why it was number 4 for me. All right, number 3 is the OG itself. It's actually right there. Probably can't see it. OG Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It was a masterpiece. That's where Kat and Kenny's success just went through the roof. The plot was great. The only reason it's not number 2 or 1 is because I've read it so many times. If I read it for the first, if I got all these books, and I just sat down and read them in one day, OGB number 1. But I've just read it so many times, I've gotten used to it. So that's why. Now it's time for number 2. Guys, number 2. Oh, no. Kind of feel nervous for saying this, but it is The Ugly Truth. Maybe because it's so relatable since I'm going through the awkward stage. And I just loved it, I honestly didn't think that, like, when they have to take care of the Ed and they go to that dentist appointment, it was awesome. I loved it. And, I really, really think none others can top it besides number 1. Number 1 will shock you. Number 1. Okay, I picked this book because it was like a trip, kind of like a trip. You guys probably already know this because you're probably crossing them out. But you guys probably don't need this. But it was just so good. It had the trip and how all the kids were able to collide. Number 1. This is a new Greg, so it's not one of those old Gregs, but number 1 is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Old school. So good. They go on that awesome, like, electronic free thing. The camp was goated. The camp is what made it so good. Like, Seal a Scratch. I loved that. It was so good. So, that's gonna end it. And here's my sister, Olivia.
Caleb, do you know which part of Utah in your camp? Do you know?
Cool. All right, make sure you subscribe, like it. See ya.